Hello, I am Dr. Simarpreet Singh. So welcome you all to another cloud lab. So in this lab, we'll be talking about EC2 service of Amazon AWS. So we'll be having a scenario that we'll be setting up the EC2 service, and using this EC2 service, we'll be creating a instance, and this instance will be having Microsoft Windows Server. Using the existing AMI, we will be developing this instance. After creation of this instance in Amazon AWS EC2 service, we will be connecting to this particular instance, that is the Windows Server, and after connection we will be creating a folder on the desktop and installing IIS server on this Windows Server and making a simple static web page with the content as this is my web page. And after creation of the web page, we will be creating the whole complete instance AMI, that is known as the Amazon machine image. So we'll be creating this AMI which will be acting as the custom AMI, and using this AMI and the EC2 service, we will be installing our own machine, and we'll be checking whether this particular machine is having the installed folder and IIS server on this machine or not. So this will help us in validation of this particular machine along with the creation of custom AMIs. So in this lab, our task will be how we can create our custom AMI where these are stored in Amazon AWS EC2 service, and how we can use this AMI to create a new instance of our own. So I hope you will love working on this lab. So let's start working on this particular lab. Okay, now let's start with the implementation part. First of all, to open EC2 service, we will be navigating to services. EC2 is a compute service, so navigate to compute and then EC2. So click on EC2. So this is the dashboard of EC2. You are having the instances of option. Presently there are no instances that are running, so no instances that are available as well, so all entries are 0. To create a new instance, we click on the launch instance option. So I am clicking on the launch instance option. So it is asking me for the instance name, so I am giving any name as instance. Then it is asking me for the application and operating system images, and it is in AWS, it is known as the Amazon machine image, AMI. So as of now, this is for the very first time. So I am using the by default Windows Microsoft. So it will be taking the Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base, which is a basic Microsoft Windows Server. You can navigate to browse more AMIs as well, and you can select the server that you want to. For this demonstration, I am using this Microsoft Windows Server 2022. So I am selecting this up, and you can see that in browse more AMIs, presently I am not having any AMI that has been created by me. So we'll be creating this custom AMI in this demonstration. So I'm selecting this Windows Server 2022. After making this operating system selection, I'm moving ahead with the instance type. It is T2 Micro, which it contains one virtual CPUs, 1 GB memory, and all these details. So I am keeping it default because this is a free tier eligible. Then it is asking me for the key pair. So I'm not having any key pair as of now. So I'm clicking on create a new key pair. So I'm giving the name as instance itself. You can give any name to this key pair. Selecting the key pair type as RSA, private key file format as PEM. I am clicking on create key pair. As soon you click on create key pair, I am able to see this instance.pem file being downloaded into my system. I will be using this PEM file to decrypt the password in the later stages. REST settings, I am keeping it as default, all the network settings as well. Since I am using IAS server, which is a web server, so I am allowing the traffic from HTTP and HTTPS protocols. Storage, by default 30 GB storage is there, so I am not changing anything. Advanced details as well, I am not doing anything. In number of instances, presently I am making one instance just to show this demonstration purposes. So these are all details that I have selected, and after these selection I am clicking on the launch instance option for configuring the virtual machine. You can see that this success message is there, which means the initiation of the instance has been done successfully. So I'm going to the instances page where I am able to see this instance, and yet the state is in the pending state. When you click on this instance, when you select this instance, you are able to see all its configuration over here as well. Even the security group, networking, storage, and in monitoring, you can see all your graphs which you can use for your research oriented things. So in a couple of while, you can see that the instance state is running now. So I'm pretty good to connect to this instance. So select this instance and click on connect. As soon you click on connect, you are able to see these three options. So select RDP client, connect using the RDP client. So you can download this remote desktop file now as well, but let's create this password first. We have the public DNS, we have the username, but we need to obtain the password. To get the password, we click on this get password link. Then it is showing me the key pair associated with this particular instance name of the key pair. I need to select the same PEM file. So the key pair present is the instance, and I will be selecting instance.pem file. So upload private key file instance.pem. So this is the complete key file, private key file that is being loaded over here. So I'm selecting decrypt password. So I'm able to see the complete password now. So this is my public DNS, this is the username, and this is the password. So you can copy this password and then you can download this remote desktop file. So when you click on this remote desktop file, instance.rdp will be downloaded into your system. For Mac users, you can use Microsoft Remote Desktop, or some of the Mac versions enable this working as well. So you can try clicking on this download remote desktop file and selecting this RDP file once. So as soon you click on this RDP file, this is the screen you will be obtaining. If you are not obtaining this screen, means the RDP connection is not available, especially for the Mac users. Please download any remote desktop application like Microsoft Remote Desktop Connection, or you can go with any remote desktop connection application, and you can put this public DNS as well as the username and the password over there to connect to this machine. For Windows users, RDP will work and you will be getting this screen to connect to the machine. Once you are on this page, click on connect. As soon you click on connect, it will ask you for the credentials. So type the credentials that are shown to you. The username is administrator and password that you have copied. You are pasting the password over here and you are selecting OK to proceed. So as soon you click on OK, you are able to see this screen. So this screen says that do you want to connect despite these certificate errors? Some certificate errors warning is there. You must select the yes option. As soon you click on yes, you are able to see the remote desktop connection being set up, and in a while you are able to see the machine being opened in front of you. You can maximize it as well as you can minimize this particular machine according to your requirement. So wait for a while till the time this machine gets ready. For all your queries and doubts, please comment below this video. I will be happy to reply them out. Now you are able to see this machine. Once this machine is ready, you need to go to Start and then Server Manager to install the IIS web server. So click on this Server Manager. So when you click on the Server Manager, the Server Manager console will be appearing in front of you. Click on Cross. Once this dashboard is there in front of you, you need to navigate to add rules and features. If you click on this rules and features, you will be getting this message that it is collecting some inventory data. So you need to wait for a while. So click on OK and wait for a while, and then re-click on the add rules and features. Now you are able to open the dialog box. As soon you are able to see this dialog box appearing in front of you, this is the wizard for the addition of roles and features. So select next. So IAS web server is a role based or feature based installation. So I'm selecting the first option. Then it is asking for the server. So same server which is there, I'm selecting that only. So it is asking for the server rules. So I need to select the IIS web server. So here it is. I'm selecting it out. It is giving me the prompt to add these features. I selected the add features. So this tick will be enabled over here, IIS web server. I'm doing next. Features, I'm keeping it as default. Web server role IIS, I'm keeping it everything as default. And finally I am selecting the install to install this IIS web server on this single machine. So we need to wait for a couple of minutes till the time the installation finishes. So you are able to see the installation succeeded message over here. So once you are able to see this message, click on close. So this message signifies that IAS is installed in this machine. You are able to see this IAS over here as well. So this means the IAS web server has been installed to this machine. Once you are able to install IAS server on this machine, you will be navigating to C drive, and then you are able to see a folder named as inetpub in the C drive. So navigate to inetpub, and inside this navigate to www root. So whatever you will be putting over here will be accessible through the web server. So I am removing the pre-existing files that are there due to the installation. So now I am not having anything over here. I will be creating an index.html file with the desired content as this is. To create a index.html file, I am opening Notepad. You can directly open the Notepad using Windows plus R and typing Notepad, or in search bar you can write Notepad to open the Notepad. Once this Notepad is in front of you, you can write the desired text. So desired text is, this is my web page. I am writing that this is my web page. So I'm saving this notepad file as index.html. I'm changing the extension, that's why I'm selecting save as option. I'm navigating to the same location, C drive, inetpub, then www root, and inside this directory www root, I am saving this file name as index.html. Save as type all files. Just I am doing so because it should be the HTML file. If I select txt file, that it will be index.html.txt, and it will be a text document. It will not be an HTML document anymore then. That's the reason I am selecting the save as type as all files. Once these three things are completed, click on save and close this notepad file. You are able to see this index.html file on the required directory C drive, inetpub, www root. Double click on this index.html file to view the contents of this web page. So as soon you double click on this file, you are able to see a web browser being open up, and you are able to see the contents of this file as well. This is my web page. So since this browser has been opened for the very first time, it is asking for some synchronization of the data. So I am not selecting any accounts or so. I am simply confirming and selecting the option to start browsing. So you can see this is my file index.html placed at C drive inetpub www root, and this file is having the text as this is my web page. Later on you can configure web server on your numerous clients as well, and you can access your page in different computers also. But as of this lab, I'm demonstrating how you can install IAS server, how you can configure a static web pages. And the second task in this lab is to create a folder on the desktop. So this is my desktop. To create a folder, I am right clicking and selecting new and folder. So I'm putting the name to this folder as instance. You can use any name You can even give your name as well, your enrollment ID or social security number or so. So as of the demonstration, I am using instance as the name of the folder. So I have completed all the required things in this instance. So I am minimizing this instance, going back to the AWS environment and going back to the instances. I am having one instance running where I have installed the IIS server as well as I have created a folder on the desktop. So I'm selecting that particular instance, and to create a image, a custom AMI, I'm navigating to actions, image and templates, create image. So I'm giving the name of the image as this is my AMI of the instance that I have created. So AMI hyphen instance, I'm giving this as the name of the image. I'm giving the name of the image as AMI hyphen instance. I'm keeping all other settings as default. You can see by default it is having the tag image and snapshots together. The either option is for the separately tagging as well, but I am keeping all these settings as default. So by default it is tag image and snapshots together, and I am selecting the create image option. You are able to see this green box stating that currently creating the image, and check AMI status available before deleting the instance or carry out other actions related to this AMI. So let's move on to the AMI section. So under the images, I am having this AMIs. Upon clicking on this AMIs, I'm able to see this AMI being created up. You can see the status of the AMI is yet pending. So it will take some time depending upon the size of the data available on the instance. So we need to wait until this status changes to available from the pending status. So you need to refresh this page and you need to check whether this status is available or yet it is in pending state. So we need to wait for a couple of minutes so that the status can be available. In the meanwhile, if you received this message that remote desktop connection, your remote desktop service has been ended, so remote computer is restarting, simply click on OK. Your remote desktop connection has been timed out, and that's why you are getting this particular message. So if the status is pending and you are trying to use this AMI, let's see what happens. So I'm navigating to instances. I'm selecting launch instance. I'm giving a name to the instance. Say this is the instance created for, this is the instance. So I'm giving the name of the instance as instance from the custom AMI. So let's see what happens. I'm not selecting the AMIs from here. I'm selecting my custom created AMI, but I know that this instance, this image has not yet ready. So this is in pending state now. So I'm selecting this image and keeping all the other settings as default, creating a new key pair. So instance of custom AMI and creating a new key pair for this particular machine, allowing the HTTP protocols and selecting the launch instance option. But since AMI is in the pending state, that's why I am receiving the failed status over here. So instance launch failed because this AMI is yet in a pending state and it cannot run. That's the reason I am recommending you to wait until this AMI becomes available. Let's refresh the page and check the status again. So yet it is in the pending status. So we need to wait more. So let's refresh this page and check the status again. Yet it is in the pending status. We need to wait more. Now we are able to see the status as available. So AMI is ready. We can use this AMI. Now navigate to the instances. Click on launch instance. Let's try creating an instance from this custom AMI. So I'm creating an instance using this custom AMI image. I'm selecting my own AMI this time. I'm selecting my custom created AMI over here. So I'm keeping the instance type as default. Key pair, I can use the previously created key pair as well, the instance, or I can use the previously created instance hyphen custom AMI key pair as well, or I can create a new key pair also. So let's create a new key pair with the name as instance AMI, which is my custom. I'm selecting PEM as the key file format and selecting the create key pair option. So I'm able to see the instance-ami custom.pem file downloaded on my system. So I'm keeping all other network settings as default, just enabling the HTTP protocols and selecting the launch instance option. So as soon I click on the launch instance option, some processing takes place and I get the successfully initiated launch of the instance. I navigate back to the instances and now I am able to see two instances in the instances option. The instance state is pending. I need to wait until this instance gets ready. So the state turned to running. The instance is ready now. So let's try connecting to this instance. I click on this custom AMI instance and select and navigating to the connect option. I'm using the RDP client, decrypting the password. So it is saying that password is not available. Please wait at least 4 minutes after launching the instance before trying to retrieve the auto-generated password. So I need to wait a while to retrieve the password, or you can use the previous instance password to log into this machine. So now let's try again connecting to this machine. I'm selecting the connect option, RDP client, get password. So it is saying that password is not available. Instance was lost from a custom AMI, or the default password has changed. The password cannot be retrieved for this instance. If you have forgotten your password, you can reset it using the Amazon EC2 configuration service. So what best we can do over here is we can decrypt the password using the first instance. So upload the private key of the same first instance, getting the password, copying this password, navigating back to the password for the second instance, connecting this up, RDP client, get password. So I'm saying that it is created for the custom AMI. So I'm not selecting this password. I'm simply navigating to the RDP file of the second machine and trying to connect to the machine using the password of the earlier machine. So I'm pasting the password and trying to connect to the machine, and I'm selecting yes for the certificates, and you are able to see I am able to log into the machine. So this is my machine created from the custom AMI. So you can see that the folder is there which I have created in my instance earlier, and you can see the IAS service also already installed in this machine. So in a folder is there, www root is there, and index.html file is already available. And if I try opening this file, let's see what this content is there. So I can open this file in notepad. This is my web page, or you can simply double click on this file and the file will be opening in the web browser. So you can check and confirm the contents of the file. So this machine, this instance has been created from the custom AMI in Amazon AWS. So you can see these are the contents of the file. So this is the lab setup where you have used the key pair for the second instance. You can keep the same key pair as well, because this instance has been created using the first instance. So the password for the first instance will be working over here. So irrespective of whatever key pair you have selected for the second instance. Try working out if the things work at your end, and post your comments and suggestion in the comment box. Thank you.